What's up? So today we're going to talk about inflation and how that impacts real estate. First of all, what is inflation? Inflation is when prices rise and purchasing power goes down. And there's three main causes that impact inflation. First is what's called a cost push, when costs are forced to increase. So an example of this is lumber and materials increasing in cost for builders, which naturally has been driving up these prices for new construction homes. It just simply costs more to build it. Second impact on inflation is when there's an extremely high increase in demand for something, and in return the prices become inflated. Simple example to this is the housing market in the last 12 months. And lastly is just simply printing money. When there is more money in the economy and chasing too few goods, or when trillions of dollars are being pumped into the economy for things such as stimulus checks or business loans, PPP loans, whether that money that is being pumped into the economy or going into your pocket is going towards rent or car loans, or whether you're just holding it, you simply just don't need it, that money is still there and it will circulate through the economy at some point, which will naturally drive the prices up. So moving into today's topic, kind of touched on this in the last video and I had some questions from some people about it, is why I decided to go a little bit deeper into why real estate works to your benefit with inflation. And I think it's a great time to touch on this too, where inflation is really a major topic of concern right now. Last 12 months, inflation has risen a little over 5%, which means the value of the dollar in the last 12 months has decreased by about 5%. A dollar a year ago is worth 95 cents today, or $1 today could buy $1.05 worth of goods last year. This is when the benefit to real estate comes in. When you get a fixed rate loan, your mortgage stays the same. Yes, your other expenses like property taxes can increase, but your mortgage, just your mortgage, will stay the same. And this is typically the largest expense to any homeowner, whether it's your primary residence or for investment purposes. So in 10, 20, 30 years from now, this payment will be the same. It will not change. So when inflation hits and cost of goods increase over time, your mortgage does not. If you buy a place today and your mortgage, just your mortgage, is $400 per month, it will be $400 per month in 30 years from now. At the same time, your property is appreciating in value, and if you're using this as a rental, your rent will be increasing as well. So you've got line one here. This is your mortgage payment. It is staying exactly the same for 30 years or however long you hold it. And you've got line two, where appreciation and inflation are going up on average. Then you've got line three. If you decide to rent it, your rent is also going up. So because of this, a majority of your monthly expenses are staying the same. They're staying flat. If you're renting this place, as you're increasing rent, your cash flow should be going up as well, because your expenses, or the majority of your expenses, are staying flat. And in the background, the value of your home is appreciating. So the key to hedging inflation, or kind of beating inflation, if you want to put it that way, is the fixed rate on your mortgage. You cannot get an ARM or one that changes over time. It has to be a fixed rate, because when it's fixed and inflation increases over time and the value of your dollar decreases over time, your mortgage does not adjust with that, which is why these low interest rates are so important when you're considering holding for the long term, even with these higher prices. So the last little nugget I've got here before I end the video, over the last 70 years, inflation has increased about 3.9% per year. So if interest rates are hovering around 3% and the average annual inflation rate is hovering around 4%, if you lock in a 30-year mortgage on a 3% interest rate, you are beating inflation by about 1% per year. So that about wraps it up with inflation and how it can benefit you when you purchase real estate. Next week, we're going to hit on a few other ways to help you keep your money instead of letting inflation take it from you. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.